Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the final round of Super GT at Suzuka. I am your host, Michael Chute, and after a bit of absence, thanks to school and all that, I'm back. And we're here now to wrap up the GT4 Championship of Super GT. The fan favourite multi-class racing series thing. Ema Bob. I don't know. But anyway, there's 20 minutes of qualifying on the clock. And GT1s and GT4s will be both out on track seeking to get their piece of track to get out ahead and do their perfect time laps. Out in front there, the first car out was Satiris Martiitas. He was quickest in practice there. No, it's not. That was a lie. Tobias is out there in front, but Tobias didn't set a lap time in practice, so Satiris was actually the fastest guy out there. Because Tobias didn't set any lap times, but that doesn't mean he's the slowest guy, and usually he is the fastest man out on track, so I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't see that Gumpert Apollo up there at the front of the pack once again. Just closing down to the second last corner into the chicane of Sector 3. It's going to be right into a tight left. Don't take too much curb, and you're on the start-finish straight. That's Satiris Martiitas. Slight power slide. He managed to keep it. No, he didn't. He's in the wall. Yikes. Well, that leaves Tobias Thierolf with a totally clear piece of track from behind and in front of him to go on a nice timed lap now. And there's Satiris now. Martiitas in the number one car. Number one Celine going out for another flying lap. So anyway, it's not going to be long until we see some times on the board there. From both GT4s and GT1s. This is not a split qualifying session. They're both out on the track with each other. They're going to have to evade each other as well as they can. That's Tobias Thierolf with a purple first sector, 48.857. That's his first sector. But he usually improves upon this monster pace very quickly, so let's see how this goes. Shout out to the train that keeps going past my house. 1:31.183 is the second sector time from Tobias Thierolf. Runs the final corner without issue, a little bit of a bump. And he sets the benchmark of a 1:56.9. 56.722. That is the fastest lap on the board so far for GT1 and overall. We're going to be seeing a lot of other drivers past the line soon, such as Antonio Costa and another Gumpert Apollo. He's not quite as fast as Tobias Thierolf, but he's not really off the pace either. He's only 7/10 behind him in Sector 2. It's only going to be a 1:57.626. Just around 8.5 tenths off the pace there. First BMW to cross the line there is William McCone, setting a benchmark of 2 minutes 14 seconds, 0.7, and Leszek Lakomi has set a time 2 tenths behind that, and Rhino Berger 2 seconds behind that. And Marcelo Rodriguez So lap time 3 sec. No. 1, 2. Around 4 seconds slower than the fastest time we've got so far. So that's Marcelo Rodriguez backmarking the GT4 field so far with 14.5 minutes to go. Antonio Costa tucking into second very nicely with Fotis Isoglu sitting there in third position and is fourth. No sign of Janos Kovac this time. He's usually the runner-up to Tobias Tirov, but he just couldn't make it today, unfortunately. Something interesting is that Antonio Costa has taken the fastest first sector, his purple in the first sector. He's gone 1/10.5 spec quicker than Tobias Tirov's first sector. Purple in sector 2 from Antonio Costa. He's very close to getting pole position. He might be able to be the one man who dethrones Tobias Tirov this season. Can he do it? One more corner to go. Start finish straight. Drag race to the line. 1:56.731. That is very, very close. My mistake, the lap was invalidated. But Antonio Costa's got that pace though. He's got that dog in him. He's gonna go quick as he can. Maybe dethrone Tobias Tirov for the only time this season. He's gonna be the one. He is quick. And Tobias Tirov has caught wind of this. He's after going considerably quicker in Sector 1, half a second off his previous best time. He's going to improve pole by over half a second by the looks of things. He realised that maybe his time is under threat from Antonio Costa and he wants to double down on the definite pole position for the man. 0.6 quicker. Almost collected by Marcelo Rodriguez there. No, that's Peterson Almeida, I believe, in the Lotus. Didn't really seem too deterred, though. Tobias Tirov going across the line with a 1 minute 55.873. Monster time from Tobias Tirov. There we have it, folks. The alien that is Tobias Tirov, making his mark. Now this is very odd for me. There's only 3 GT1s in the entire field. Make that 4, because Sotiris Margaritis has just rejoined. He's just having a little bit of an internet issue. He's got 10 minutes to get a suitable qualifying spot. Minimum of P4 and less. So with 10.5 minutes to go, here is your driver rundown. So Tobias Tirov, the GT1 champion, has showed up. Although he doesn't need to, he's won every race this season. And he's just coming here for vibes, I suppose. He is one of 4 GT1s on the grid today. Not anyone else really bothered to join. Because it's very rare that there is a man to meet Tobias Tirov's pace. And Antonio Costa, his Suzuka Racing teammate, is in second place. They're both driving the same car. They're both Gumpert Apollos. In third place for GT1, we've got Fotis Isoglu in the Ford GT. And he's 4.5 seconds off of Tobias Thierolf's monster time. And Sotiris Maritas hasn't qualified yet. He's on track. He wants to set a time. He's going to have to do it very quickly. He doesn't have much time left. He's got half the section to go. But then there's Thorsten Burkhardt in first position now with a 2 minutes 13.9 in first place for GT4. There's Leszek Lakomi in second place, fighting for the championship with Andy Darnell. 2 minutes 14 seconds, 0.662 tenths. In second place is Leszek Lakomi. William McCone has set a 2 minutes 14.7, and Andy Darnell on the KCM has set it to 2 minutes 15 dead. So this might very well be Leszek Lakomi's time to shine here. Might be able to secure this championship for himself. Fight's still on for GT4. In P5 we've got Rhino Berger with a 2 minutes 15.6 and Peterson Almeida behind him. 5 tenths off. And Marcelo Rodriguez has set well, not the best qualifying lap imaginable, but Rodriguez is about to improve actually. Let's see what he improves to. 2:19. That is still pretty terrible to be honest, but he's got 7.5 minutes to improve. Let's see what we can get from the Brazilian driver in the Lotus car. Tobias Thierolf once again getting purple into the second sector. He's 1/10 faster this time. Antonio Costa is getting faster and faster, matching the pace of Tobias Thierolf. He was 1.8 off of Tobias there, and now he's only he was only like around 5 tenths slower than Tobias. Antonio's managed to go 7.5 tenths now, but slower than Tobias Thierolf. But we know that Antonio's got pace, and he's been studying this track for a very long time. He knows what he's doing. It's going to take a lot from Fotis Isoglu and Sotiris Maritas behind him to dethrone the front row lockout for Suzuka Racing. Marcelo Rodriguez into the wall. He's overdone it. The number 48 car has gone into the wall. He's going to have to try again another lap. Hopefully he doesn't crash out during the race. Maybe he's just getting it out of his system. It's a well-known ceremony for many drivers to get the crashes out of the way during qualifying so they don't wreck it in the race. So now there's Thorsten Burkhardt in the 11 car. No, he's not. No, that's Timo Reiter. P8, he's going off for another flying lap. He wants to overtake Peterson, Almeida, and Rodriguez there in 6th and 7th. He wants to take a midfield spot for himself. Here today at Suzuka. Timo's got to watch out behind him. There's going to be a GT1 coming up behind him. He slows down to let the cars past. The sportsmanship here is immeasurable. So here we see Timo Reiter going off for another attempt at a flying lap here. He just needs to bank a single lap and he's gone automatically quick. He's gonna automatically get up to 3 spots on the other drivers in the grid here. 4.5 minutes to go for qualifying for the last round of Super GT2 here in Suzuka. William McCone is now third. Behind there's Cheklakomi in P2 and Thorsten Borghardt in first place for GT4. Andy Darnell's in fourth, not looking too great for the championship there. He needs to improve during the race. Otherwise his championship hopes are in the water, dead. There goes Will on 2 wheels there, going through the third and last sector. Doing a little bit of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater there in this little BMW M4. That's the number 12, folks. What a driver. Now here's Leszek Lakomi in P2. He's gone in green first sector, but it's gone grey in the second. Let's see what we can put out in the third. Maybe it might get even closer to Thorsten Borghardt. And his pole time, no he does not. He stays in P2. And we'll now see a time from Sotiris Margaritis, 6 seconds off of the pace set by Tobias Tirov. Marcelo Rodriguez is still out there actively trying to make this work in qualifying. He's not the quickest guy out there, but you can see the amount of effort he's trying to put in to get anywhere but 7th on the grid, maybe P6. He's going for us from that Lotus GT4. Green in 2 sectors, maybe he won't be a backmarker after all. Just misses the 3rd sector there by a mile. Out of bounds and out of track limits means no lap time. He remains in P7. And there's only enough time now There's only enough time left now for drivers to finish their hot laps. There's only 60 seconds left to go. There's not enough time to start and finish a lap now. There's only enough time to finish. So there we have it, more or less. Tobias Tirov in pole position once again for GT1, and Thorsten Borghardt taking the pole position for GT4 by storm in his BMW M4. So this is going to be without a doubt a GT4 race to watch here. There's only 4 cars entered into GT1 this time, which is appalling for attendance, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, you know. Like this late into the championship, when you realise that in GT1 you've got someone like Tobias racing against you. It scares a lot of people off, you know. Well, we've definitely got a huge race going on for GT4. That's where action's gonna be today. And a 5-minute intermission for the drivers getting ready. That's a Koenigsegg. Is that who I think it is? It is! It's gonna be Christian Kubovic, who makes it just in time for the warm-up. That's a 5th GT1. And there's several other drivers that made it in. I didn't notice Dave Ziska before, he didn't qualify, and Enrico Machado in the Mercedes has also come to join us. Just made it in the nick of time. Although Christian has a monumental task ahead of him. He's going to be right back there at the back of the grid, maybe. He's going to have to fight through countless GT4 cars to get to the rest of his pack in GT1, if my calculations are correct, which they usually aren't. Because I suck at maths in school, so... So anyway, just a small reminder for our drivers listening along in chat. Race Commander is in effect for this race. So that means the limit has been set to 10 off tracks this time. Go off track in any way, shape or form. All 4 wheels. If that's off the track, then you get a point. 10 points and you are given an immediate stop and go not stop and go, drive through. That's just to encourage people to stay inside the track limits, because that's something people have been abusing in the past in this series. So let's hope we don't see any Senna Prost 1990 moves going into turn 1. We've got a very mature driver base, so it shouldn't happen, but you never know. You never really know in these sim races. Two minutes of warm-up left to go, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be starting. Also, stay tuned, because for the rest of tonight, if you want some more sim racing action, you've got it. Because we are live streaming, with commentary by the way, the second round of the Praga Championship. It's an amazing championship. We've contributed, we're setting up with ESR and a bunch of other communities, I think. Wait, hang on, who's in this championship? I'm not sure if I'm wrong. There's ESR, us, and Tukas Racing. That's odd. I thought Inspired Yorkshire was here as well, but anyway, Tukas Racing, PetrolHead, us, and ESR have teamed up now to do a little bit of a Praga Championship. We've got the biggest VRP prize we've ever had, at least in PetrolHead history. A grand prize of 2,000 VRP. That's the equivalent of 20 euros worth of in-game currency used to buy cars and whatnot for other championships. 5,000 VRP. That's 50 euros. Thank you so much for little Robin that came over to me and told me the correct amounts. But anyway, that's the largest prize we've ever had in PetrolHead history, and we have got An elusive rule set to keep everything interesting for every race. And this time we've got commentary. With not just me, but another Michael Magus from ESR. Funny chap, him. I'm sure we'll get along just fine. So don't miss that. This is essentially a souped up GT4 race now, but if you want real entertainment, you've got the Progress coming right up in a few hours' time. Don't miss out. And now we will be forming up onto the grid for the first race of the last race of the, if that makes sense. No, let me rephrase that. The first stint of the last event of the championship at Suzuka. It's going to be Tobias Tirolf in pole position for GT1, and Antonio Costa is going to be lining up on the first row beside him in P2. Thorsten Borkart manages to steal pole position, with Leszek Lakomi stealing second, and William McCone just couldn't get a quick one thrown together in time. He's in third, and Andy Darnell in fourth. What are we going to do now? 20 minutes on the clock, it's going to be lights out, and we're going into turn 1, hurtling towards turn 1. At over 230 kilometers an hour goes those GT4 cars. Tobias Tirolf takes the lead in GT1, and Christian Kibovic is putting Fotis Isoglu under pressure. That's Tosiris Moraitis isn't turned up, he's going to be gone away for the duration of this race. Christian Kibovic is trailing behind him. He's going to be having a fight with Fotis Isoglu for third place in the final podium spot. Meanwhile, Leszek Lakomi has overtaken Thorsten Borkart for first place in this amazing championship race, with William McCone in third and Rhino Berger fourth. Andy Darnell slumped back to fifth, with the slow launch speed of the KTM hurting him very badly. He's got the pace in Rhino Berger, though. He's going to be making a move very soon. He has to, if he wants to keep that number 77 Lotus car from behind him, Peterson Almeida, at bay. And especially if he wants to keep that championship hopes alive. He's on the outside now. The 77 Audi of Rhino Berger on the inside. Now the outside onto the hairpin. He goes through Andy Darnell into fourth place. We've got the two Tugas Racing drivers fighting for each other for position. Tobias Tirolf versus Antonio Costa. Costa sitting there pretty in the draft. And you can see in the background Fotis Isoglu's clearly making ground on Christian Kibovic. Leszek Lakomi and Thorsten Borkart are now having a battle for first position in this race. 44C versus the 11. Looks on the inside, pulls out, realizing it's a bad idea to go too wide in that corner. We've seen too many Super GT videos to see those. That's a bad idea. That's going to be quicker exit speed for the 44. That's got a small bit of a pile up there. Something's happened to Rhino Berger. He was hit by someone, I don't know who. There was 3 cars involved in that. That's going to be one for the stewards later on. We're only 3 minutes in, boys. Side by side with the 44 and the 11. Leszek Lakomi gets out there in front with Thorsten Borkart chasing him valiantly for the lead, with William McCone sitting back in that orange M4. And the number 12 car watching everything happen, ready for them two to make a mistake. He needs to capitalize on this. The more they trip each other up at the front, the more Christian Kibovic, that came out. The more William McCone can get out there and start fighting for second and first place. Meanwhile, at the back there, in fourth position, is Andy Darnell in that KTM. He's getting very, very close. It's not a KTM, it's a KTM. Same syllables, basically. But But anyway, that KCM is not going very fast in a straight line, but the top 3 contenders are out in force. So it's not very good news for a car with only a 4-cylinder engine. That's Peterson Almeida in the barrier and out of this race. At least for position anyway. Peterson's had a massive moment in that number 77. He's at the back now. But watch the number 44C versus the 11 and the 12. All 3 of them are at the front now. Thorsten Burkhardt wants to make him the 2nd win of the season. And there he goes. Just got to look for the move. He wants any old door to open. For every failed attempt, William McCone gets closer. And I was certainly going to be in slipstreaming range. The draft is going to take it the long way around. It's the inside, the outside. Look at him go through turn 1. He's losing too much time. William McCone is there. He is racing him. The 44 versus the 12 is in the mix. There's 3 cars in the mix for the first 3 podium spots here for GT4 now. Going into 15 minutes left. This is only 5 minutes gone. 15 left on the clock for Super GT2. You can see Andy Darnell back there in his KTM. It's not really working as well as we thought he would. I've always thought that he'd get a very significant advantage in that KTM. But it's just not going fast enough in a straight line. Just goes to show that that's why we don't see too many KTMs in real life in these championships. But now, meanwhile, in the midfield, it's going to be Enrico Machado versus Timo Reiter here for 5th place. Enrico's getting very good runs on Timo, but Timo's defending really well so far. If anything happens to Enrico Machado and Timo Reiter, Dave Ziska in P7 is going to be able to capitalize off that massively. He's going to be taking 2 free positions. He's going to be saying thank you very much. But that won't happen because these are 2 very competent drivers. And they're producing a very good show at the moment. The 11 versus the 56. AMG versus BMW. Long right-hander. Left-hander. Same thing, essentially. Timo Reiter on the inside. He's defending from Enrico Machado. He's on the outside now. Side by side going into the start-finish straight now. Meanwhile, Peterson Almeida has gone off. Well, they're still racing each other there. Timo Reiter versus Enrico Machado. They're going across in the start-finish straight. Who's gonna get the position? Someone's gonna have to yield there. Timo Reiter defends the position very well. He remains P5 for now. But Enrico Machado isn't done yet. He's still looking for time on that BMW in front of him. You can just watch Andy Darnell becoming a distant... Oh, that's the 56 of Enrico Machado. The challenger, Timo Reiter's 5th place, is now in the wall. And his engine bay is ruined. Look at the front end of that Mercedes car. Fit for the scrap heap. That's going to hurt his chances massively by finishing anywhere respectable in this race. He's in P8 right now, and it's only going to get worse from here for now, for the Brazilian driver. Meanwhile, things haven't fared very well for Christian Kibovic. Her last minute drop in. The Super GT1 champion hasn't really been able to adapt to the GT1 machinery. And as a result, he hasn't been exactly prominent in this championship. But he'll have the reverse grid to help him for the second race now. First and second place for GT4 are at it again. With Leszek Lakomi out in front, this is what he needs to try and win the championship from Andy Darnell. But if he makes a mistake, if he gets crashed out by Thorsten Borkart, everything will be gone. And it will be Andy's title. Andy's hanging in there. From P4, he just watched those BMWs get more distant and distant, goes for a move, goes Thorsten Borkart, doesn't quite make it happen, but now the 12 is going after him. He's close enough to make a move. For every move he misses on the number 11 car in front of him, the 12 and the rear of him gets closer and closer, and he'll take second place when he gets the door open. We've got half race distance, 9.5 minutes to go here at Suzuka. Meanwhile, look at Rhino Berger in P7. He was last at one point. He was spun out at the start. I wonder what happened there. There's going to have to be an investigation into that. Side by side, going into the third sector chicane. The 11 of Leszek Lakomi on the inside. This is what he needs for the championship. He needs to defend from Thorsten Borkart in the 44. And this is gorgeous chaos. He's getting a front row seat. Watching Thorsten and Leszek fight. William McCone in third place is getting a front row seat to it all. Left, right. It's going to be the 44 on the outside. Backs out, waiting for the racing line to open up, but it doesn't. He's going to stay there in second place, and William McCone's going to get closer. And Marcelo Rodriguez in the 48 in 9th place is getting overtaken by Peterson Almeida. They've both been spinning all race. Hopefully they can get something better out of the car. This is a super race so far. Even though it's only GT4s, this is amazing racing here today. It's just Suzuka. Andy Darnell's 2 seconds away and gaining from William McCone. He just needs to put his mind to it. He's losing even more time every lap. Just because of that top speed shortage is not the best way to go for that KTM. But I say, put a good engine into that KTM chassis and you have a monster of a car. Be a little bit of a homologation special, but sure. It's an awesome. That would be awesome for a story. I wonder if they made an attempt at a KCM GT3. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. And now Leszek Lacomi is moving over to defend from Thorsten Burkhardt. Door's not quite open. They have not left each other at all through the course of these this race distance so far. Oh, Williams getting so close now. They've got to be very careful though, because behind him is going to be the GT1 field of Tobias Thierolf and Antonio Costa going to be following them through. And Christian Kibovic is also a lap down for some reason. I never caught his accident. But you can see one of the cars propped up against the wall there. That's one of the cars. That's the number 11 of Antonio Costa. He's gone having trouble with one of the GT4s, overtaking Andy Darnell, but must have been one of the ones up front. He was getting a little bit too impatient, perhaps. But that's cost him precious time towards him and his teammate Tobias Thierolf. And Timo Reiter, the victims, the move of Dave Ziska. Look at Ziska's front end. That's a smashed up BMW there. He's after having an accident of some kind. Thorsten Burkhardt takes the lead of GT4. Less than a second separate them going onto the start-finish straight. Reiter isn't giving up just yet. He's chasing around to gain his 5th position back. On the inside line, what a move from the German driver. Excellent stuff from the 11 car. Leszek is after losing the position to Thorsten Burkhardt a few minutes ago. That's a story for another time. It's Dave Ziska taking the position back on the inside of turn 1. They're still side by side going onto the S's. Timo's on the grass. Dirty tires on the left side. Hopefully they can get that scrubbed off just before the S's come up. Three and a bit minutes to go. Left for Super GT. Thorsten Burkhardt leaves GT4, and Leszek Lacomi in P2 really needs these points for the championship to maybe get any kind of advantage over Andy Darnell. Otherwise, he will lose out on this championship. This is his chance to get the King of GT4's trophy right here, right now. William McCone is sitting there in the number 12 car, very patiently for a very, very long time. He hasn't spotted an opportunity just yet. He's sitting pretty in that slipstream there, just waiting for either car to make a mistake. He's very consistent, William McCone. Going a little bit wide there, William McCone in a number 12 car. Andy Darnell has to watch out. Fosu Ziziglu is behind him in the faster car. Coming up to the left, the GT4 class is the GT1s. This is a multi-class race. Although only 4 cars turned up for GT1. They do still exist on the track, and the GT4s need to be wary of that when they're raced. Or more accurately, the GT1s need to be aware of the GT4s, because it's up to them to make the pass safe. This is very close racing for the top 3 here at GT4. 1.5 minutes to go, and William McCone is still hungering for that second place. Leschek needs the second place in the championship. He needs to pull this off. Fotis is in the number 44 Ford car just there. Doesn't quite have the right of way. This is very frustrating for Fotis there. He needs to get past quickly, otherwise he will lose out on a lot of time there. Finding a way through on the inside doesn't quite interrupt the battle there between the 11 and the 12. The chase is on for second place here. A mistake can happen at any time with 30 seconds to go. Goes wide, the 11. Slightly off of track limits. Lost a little bit of time there. He's in the slipstream now. Getting closer, ever so closer. He's within 0.2 of a second here, right on the back bumper. The move might be on here. What's going to happen here? Goes defensive. McCone's on the outside. Doesn't quite get the usual through in the inside for the next corner. This is going to be the last lap for GT4. The chase is on for second place. Rhino Berger is around. Meanwhile, in P6. Now back to the front. William McCone is following very, very closely through the S's there. I've no idea how he's managed to get this far without crashing into anyone. Very, very close racing indeed. It's about as close as it gets here in PetrolHead SimRacing. He's running out of corners, man. He needs to get that move done, or else he's gonna miss out there. Doing a little bit more of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater there, going on 2 wheels off that curb, styling on the enemy. Very close. Takes the racing line as Leschek has to go defensive. Leschek gets the better traction coming out of the corner. A little bit of distance forms between the 11 and the 12. Williams running out of corners. He needs to get this move done as soon as he can. And Tobias Tierolf wins in Class 1, and it's Antonio Costa second. With the GT1s passing the line, this also means this is the last lap for GT4. Thorsten Burkhardt flashing his headlights up in front, and Leszek Lekobi in second, and William McCone in third. He's fought brilliantly and set the pole position for GT4, and now after a hiccup of a race start, he retakes the victory. Thorsten Burkhardt is a second-time race winner in Super GT. With the 11 of Leszek Lekomi getting crucial points for the championship, catching up on Andy Darnell. Andy needs to catch a serious break if he wants to still maintain his title for GT4. Meanwhile, Timo Reiter doing the stylish flick. That's his trademark, folks, the horseman flick of Timo Reiter. as he celebrates the solid midfield points of P5. And that was Super GT, folks. What a race that was. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I really did. Thank you guys for whoever made it this far. Hope I provided sufficient entertainment for you all. Thirsty. But anyway, I think that's it then. I'm not sure if there's a second race. I don't think there is.
There's a second race.
Thank you again for the... another Robin has suddenly perched on my shoulder. And told me that there is in fact another race. So we're not... Usually it says in my UI that it's race 1 or race 2. But it didn't for some reason, so... Anyway, there's 5 minutes left of intermission, so don't worry about it. Commentary will be back in a minute. As soon as I get my game back in order. But anyway, that was an incredible session of several very fast drivers showing their mettle in a 20-minute shootout for the top 3 podium positions. This is what Leszek needed in P2 to get those championship points. Leszek almost didn't turn up, you know. In the Discord he said that he wasn't going to be there, but he's changed his mind apparently, and now he's here, stomping the competition. But not as hard as Thorsten Burkhardt, who takes his second win of the season. And just a little bit more information on William McCone. He's after running out of fuel there on the line. That's why he couldn't quite catch the car in front of him. Leszek told me he had a very, very good run. He was very patient. This clearly isn't the last of William McCone tonight, this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes on the number 12 car. But now that sets the stage for race 2. There's going to be a reverse grid, giving drivers an opportunity to start near the front, and if they can defend hard enough, stay there. It's always a great show with these reverse grids, so let's see what happens here, this time, for the last time in Super GT2 at Suzuka. But another thing I was going to mention was Antonio Costa. He was very quick this evening. He's very, very close to Tobias Tirolf. It's uncanny how close he is to his teammate. I've still yet to find someone that can beat Tobias Tirolf in a GT1 shootout. But Antonio's certainly gotten the closest this far. But anyway, this means with the top 5 reverse grid, Timo's 5th place finish in race 1 has netted him pole position for the second race, which is going to be super exciting. We know what Timo Reiter can do. He's been pumping out some great performances recently. But yeah, there's going to be a few people frustrated with that 3-car incident. I vaguely remember, if you rewind the stream to like the first race, the start of the first race, there was a few cars, Rhino Burger included, involved in a shunt of some kind. I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll find out. Also, when this race ends, please stay, because we've got some more post-race interviews. We haven't done those in a long time. We haven't done commentary as a whole in a long time, so... welcome back to Super GT, I suppose. And just a little reminder, after this, I'm going to be commentating the ESR, Tugas, and PetrolHead SimRacing collaboration for the Praga Championship. So, more stunning commentary by two Michaels this time. One Michael Chute, one Michael Magus. So, one minute left to go of warm-up. So hopefully, while we're watching Marcelo Rodriguez lapping about in his 48 Lotus car, let's hope that he pumps out a little bit better of a performance this time, because it was him and his other compatriot, Peterson Almeida, actually left. But they were both spinning a lot last for those races. And now only one of them remains, so let's see if, for the last stint of the season, if Marcelo Rodriguez can get a little bit of an improvement on his position. Forming up from the grid for the last time this season for Super GT2. The lights appear. First there's 1, next there's 3, next there's 5. Blink and you'll miss it. They go out and the drivers storm off into the distance. With Rhino Burger getting a bad start, Antonio Costa's in P1, with Tobias Theroff second and Faust Ziziglu third. William McCone is in first position, jumped Timo Reiter for first place, and Timo is now in second place, holding off. Let's check Lacomi for P2. Thorsten Borkart back in fourth, and then Andy Darnell back in fifth with Machado harassing him in sixth. David Ziska in seventh. Peterson Almeida in 8th, and Rodriguez in 9th. Rhino Burger P10, he's got a mountain to climb ahead of him. Allied B, 2 of 11 cars battling it out. Timo Reiter is going to be at the forefront of it all. In second place, holding off Let's Check Lacomi and Thorsten Borkart. Antonio Costa, meanwhile, is being attacked by Tobias Theroff all the way up in GT1, and you can see Fotis just hanging around in the background, going slightly wide to Antonio Costa. He's going to get the run very shortly, Tobias Tirov. Two US Racing teammates battling out for the lead overall. Going down the inside, and that's Tobias Tirov now in the lead. No, it's not. Very good move from Antonio Costa. Very good defense from Antonio there. Very quick driver in the 11. There's 3 separate 11 cars now. But I mean, in this context, I'm talking about the 11 in GT1. There's 2 separate 11 cars in GT4, so that's not confusing at all. Rhino Berger making his first move in his ascent all the way back up to where he started. Marcelo Rodriguez in P10 is Bindit once again, limping into the pits to try and get his car fixed up. The chase is on for Antonio Costa and Tobias Tirov. We haven't had a good fight for the GTR 1s in a while. Not for the lead anyway. What's happening now? One man who's able to bring the fight to Tobias Tirov is Antonio Costa. This time, will his winning streak be broken at the final round? Less than half a second separate those two. Antonio keeps the lead. He's getting a better exit than Tobias Tirov going into turn 1. He's getting very quick, Antonio Costa. 4 minutes have passed. And this is your current leaderboard right now. Antonio Costa and Tobias Tirov, in that order, surprisingly, are fighting out, battling out through the S's as we speak in P1 and P2. Fotis Issiglu in 3rd, and Christian Kubovic has dropped out of 4th. William McCone got an amazing start there, and it's gotten 1st place ahead of Leszek Lokomi in P2, Thorsten Burkhardt in P3. Timo Reiter, the pole sitter, has managed to drop down to P4, but is maintaining his 4th place from Enrique Machado. He's more than capable of defending from that Mercedes car. And Dave Siska's in P6, Peterson Almeida P7, Andy Darnell has gotten a very bad start in P8, Rhino Berger in 9th, and Marcelo Rodriguez in P10. A monumental gap between Tobias Tirov, Antonio Costa, and those two at least, between Fotis Issiglu is monumental. There's what a gap that's been built. Almost 10 seconds now going into the end of the 3rd lap. Let's get a bit of GT4 action up in here. It's the 44 versus the 11 once again. Leszek Lokomi versus Thorsten Burkhardt. The 77 of Peterson Almeida goes off again. Rodriguez goes off again. Back to the fight. We got 44 bashed off of the road. Goes to Thorsten Burkhardt. And that's Reiter re-overtaking him for 3rd position. Thorsten might have damage. This is amazing news for Timo Reiter. Tobias just can't seem to find a way past his Suzuka Racing teammate. I've never seen anything like this before. Going through the right-hander, Enrique Machado is losing time to the cars behind him. Less than 3/10 separate him and Andy Darnell. No, that would be Thorsten Burkhardt. But Andy isn't too far behind him either. Dave Ziska is going to be going to the right-hand side of Andy Darnell. Still there. Going to be racing it into the right-hander in turn 1. The KCM's going to have the grip to maintain the lead over Dave Ziska for P6. That's one thing the KCM is going for. Anyway, Thorsten Burkhardt is trying to fight desperately with Enrique Machado there for P5. He's definitely got pace, but he doesn't have an open door. He can't go for a move. Enrico and Timo have been doing very well as of late. Tobias Theorolf goes off of the track. He's gone too wide, racing his Suzuka Racing teammate Antonio Costa is in the lead by 1.5 seconds. I don't believe this. Enrique Machado defending from the 42. The 44, I mean. Thorsten is still there in his rearview mirror. Timo's been doing very well to keep him at bay. Going to go for the defensive line, defending from the AMG Mercedes car. Small bit of a love tap, he's got him round! Collects Thorsten Burkhardt. It's going to be chaos in the third sector. A dream shattered for Timo Reiter. It didn't quite kill his car though, he's still going. But that could have been a third place finish for the German driver. And something that we're definitely having a look at towards the end of the race. I'm disgusted. Meanwhile, it's Dave Ziska now fighting Thorsten Burkhardt for 4th place. Dipping his toes off of the track there into the gravel trap, going Thorsten Burkhardt. He's lost a bit of speed and a little bit of time to the 28 car. Dave Ziska going through into the second sector. Lap 6 has begun. Your half race distance, everyone. Enrico Machado is still there. Behind Timo there. And now, still relatively trying to chase him in the 56, but honestly, that That level of force was absolutely not necessary. I'm disgusted. 8.5 minutes to go and things have cooled down a lot. During this race, Tobias Tierolf has managed to get 2 seconds down to 1 second on Antonio Costa, but he still has yet to make the move for GT1. Andy Darnell's in 3rd place, fighting Leszek Lakomi for the championship. And Thorsten Burkhardt is on his tail. And that's the last nail in the coffin for Enrico Machado's 6th place chances. Thorsten Burkhardt wants to get a 2nd podium in the 2nd race, but Andy Darnell is there to stop him. He needs these championship points. He lost out in the 1st race, he needs to get some more to make up. Otherwise he will not be champion. So of course they're chasing each other there. 7 minutes to go. Burkhardt has gotten the pace. He's got the straight line speed on that KCM. Wow, that is drastic. That KCM is terrible in a straight line, but awesome in the corners. This form of corners, like this selection of corners that we just went through, is the absolute worst for the KCM on this track. But they'll be right back up there as soon as we go back into the S's. That's the flashing lights from Antonio Costa. It's going to be Tobias Tierolf being held up slightly. Thorsten Burkhardt goes slightly wide, gets re-overtaken by Andy Darnell and Tobias Tierolf in the GT1. Thorsten Burkhardt starting to cook in his helmet. The pressure is on. William McCone has made a very good, an excellent race so far for P1. He's led from start to finish. Five minutes to go, and anything can still happen here in the GT4 midfield. The action has cooled down very slightly. Of course, Thorsten is getting ever so close to Andy Darnell, but he needs to make the move stick this time, because straight line speed isn't going to carry him all the way through, especially going through the S's. It's going to be the outside line. They touch tires. Getting a bit physical there, Thorsten Burkhardt. flashing his lights. He doesn't know what Andy Darnell's thinking. In his head, he's done something wrong. But Rubbing's racing, cry about it. You've got the faster car, Thorsten. Let's go. Three and a half minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. And the GT4 champion will be decided tonight. Oh, more and more mistakes are creeping in for the 44 car of Thorsten Borkart. He just can't find a way past that KTM, and it is frustrating him very much. And I tell you what, Tobias Thierhoff still hasn't found a way past Antonio Costa. Could this be? Could this be the end of his winning streak that he's maintained for the whole season? Can Antonio Costa be the second ever GT1 race winner? Apart from the only other person to win the race overall, apart from Tobias Thierhoff this season. 2 minutes to go, it can still happen. There's around 2 laps left. Dave Ziska going quite wide there. Tobias is starting to finally get into a groove there. He needs to make this move happen. He's cutting it very close with the clock. Of course, this won't change the championship in the scheme of things. He's already run it. But this is the Von Karma of sim racing. He's got to have his perfect record in this championship, or else he will not be happy. I know I wouldn't. Looks like Antonio's got the better line going into the third sector. Slipstream is prominent going into the left-hander. Sector 3 going into the run-up of the chicane. It's going to be very close. He's got the run-up. Bad exit. This is going to be the last lap, I assume. Tobias Thierhoff sending it up into the inside. Makes it stick. Antonio's not gone just yet, though. He's going to follow him through into the S's. There's going to be plenty of margin. Plenty of time left yet for a mistake from Tobias Thierhoff. Yeah, this is the first time we've ever seen the man himself under pressure. And this is going to be the last lap for GT4. Andy Darnell has been overtaken by Thorsten Borkart in the end. Antonio staying with him. Timo Reiter and Enrico Machado's had an accident into the third sector. It's going to be yellow flag for the third sector there. Those two have not been getting on with each other very much, at all. Very squarely going Antonio Costa. Making the move for P7 ahead of Enrico Machado, Timo Reiter. He's taking what's his. As Matrella Rodriguez spins off once again in P9. It was so nearly ruined, but now he's got ultimate bragging rights for the championship. Tobias Thierhoff has won every single race in the season. His teammate Antonio Costa in P2 has given him a run for his money and something to think about. But Tobias has still proven to be faster on this occasion. Very well done. No easy feat. Meanwhile, there's Enrico Machado and Timo Reiter still fighting over P7. Enrico Machado is an absolute... That is that...
This guy is so...
Machado needs to take a chill pill. We're gonna have, like, he's wrecked Timo on several occasions, and I'm not having, like, we won't have it at the stewards. None of it. There will be a penalty for Machado, I recall. But near the front, it's going to be William McCone leading from start to finish to win in GT4. Leszek Lakomi in P2, Thorsten Burkhardt third, and Andy Darnell in P4. Dave Ziska maintains P5, and Rhino Berger gets all the way back up to P6. Timo got wrecked out of a possible third place finish there. And for that, Enrico Machado should receive the death penalty. I'm just going to say that there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just an egg sunt of approval from the man himself, Timo Reiter. But anyway, that was for good reason, for one reason or another, this was an exciting race. The man himself, Tobias Thierhoff, almost bested for the first time this season, but manages to keep it a record. Every race won, and every race he's won. Antonio nearly gave him a run for his money, but he has held on. He's held his nerve, and he's managed to pass him in the nick of time. To hold his nerve as the GT1 champion of Super GT2. And now, if my maths are correct, they usually aren't, Andy Darnell, I think, is now your GT4 champion. Anyway, I'm just having a look at Enrico. I'm having a look at Super GT2 chat in the Discord. Enrico Machado has not been very, very good. He belongs in a Brother Ops server, to be honest. I'll figure out some kind of race ban for him at a later date. I don't think that's gonna be any fun. But anyway, I believe now would be a better time than ever to get on with post-race interviews. So
I better say nothing. Good night, guys.
unlucky, Timo. Yeah, like death penalty for fucking Enrico. This is unacceptable in any capacity, in any community. But anyway, I was gonna get. Well, let's start with Andy Darnell, I suppose. Andy, would you like to start off?
If you give us 5 minutes, I'll come back to you in a bit.
Sure thing.
Okay. Okay. Move on to the next guy.
Also,
Thank
one
you.
more thing. Never mind. Anyway, let's check. Would you like to speak?
Oh, hello there. Good evening.
Good evening. Now, I'd ask you about your title, but I have absolutely no idea who won that.
I don't know either. I just exit the game very
Fair
quickly.
enough. But we'll figure it out sometime. But anyway, like that was some solid driving from you today. Very congratulations. Nice job.
Oh, thank you. I think it was one of the most consistent and best race in this championship. I very put the most on the consistency and yeah, more than lap times to make sure I will stay on the track.
Yeah, of course, that's important.
Yeah, about the race. The first race was basically a constant fight with the Borkart. I was side by side with him almost all the time. When the GT1s appeared, I lost concentration and went on the gravel, and I lost first place. I wanted to fight it back, but unfortunately I didn't make it. The second race, I think, was more calm. The most of the race I drive alone with anyone nearby, except GT1s passed me through. And yeah, I think that's it.
Well, that's very, very good driving from you today, good sir. Very well done.
Oh, thank you once more.
Is there anything else you'd like to mention to the guys at home? Or...
I think no, that's it from me. Congratulations for everyone who finished the race. Congratulations for champions, GT1 and GT4 champions. Yeah, I think. What else? Greetings from my family, which watching this live stream.
Yeah, like shout out to Let's Check. Shout out to the Lacomi family. But anyway, thank you so much for your time, Let's Check.
Thank you so much.
Alright, good night. So Andy, you should be ready now.
Yeah, all ready now. Thank you. I just wanted to quickly upload the scores
Fair
before
enough.
making any announcements. But yeah, let's check. You gave me a run for my money, but I just about got you at the end. So well done. I couldn't touch you today. You were way too quick. But no, it was a good championship. Thank you to everybody that attended, and obviously Tobias winning every race that's some feat. Congratulations for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my poor little KTM's a bit slow.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a shot to the foot there.
It's been good
I
fun.
swear.
And obviously, thank you to you for your commentary.
Not at all. I love doing this.
Good news.
But anyway, there's something I'd like to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Out of these two options, what is your response to Henrique Machado getting banned? Yes or yes?
Well, he actually took me out on turn one as well, so it wasn't just the incidents for Timo. So obviously, the stewards will have a look at all the things and make the decision. So I won't be giving any decisions now, but yeah, he did punt me off the track as well, which was not ideal.
Yeah, like that's three
That's a
separate
well
drivers.
survived.
He
Yeah,
hits Rhino Burger, he hit Timo, he hit you, he hit
yeah,
Dave Ziska at one instance, I think I saw him.
yeah. It's not ideal. Just a little bit hot under the collar. I think it's he's still got a bit to learn, unfortunately.
And he shall learn somewhere else.
We shall see. We shall look at all the incidents after the race, obviously, and go from there.
Yeah, but if it were up to me, it'd be instant death penalty for ruining a possible Timo podium. But anyway, that's my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. We have to, before making any judgment, we look at all incidents because that's the only fair thing to do.
Yeah, I see.
A whole team of stewards, and we'll all draw our own conclusions, and the majority will be the one to make the decision.
But anyway, is there anything else you'd like to say to everyone else, or are you
No,
done?
no. I think that covers everything. Obviously, let me have a quick look at the results here. Kovacs had a great second place for GT1, and obviously Lacomi was second. Will McComb was third on GT4, and Fotis was third in GT1. So congrats to all of them.
Awesome.
And yeah, see you on the Praga race next.
Yeah.
Good night.
All right. Good night, there, Andy. We'll see you again soon. So, of course, Satiris, would you like to talk, or are you All right, Satiris is sitting out this time, so our last driver is going to be Tobias Tierolf, our GT1 champion, and with 100%, which is 100% win rate. Tobias, how do you feel? You've won every single race.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I like 2 minutes or 4 minutes before the race stopped. I already thought it would not work out. Antonio had like 2.5 seconds or something, but I think he did a mistake. Like 2 laps before the race finished, so that gave me the opportunity to catch up and try a risky maneuver on turn 1, but it worked out. It's kind of lucky, but yeah, sometimes you need a bit of luck to get it done.
Yeah, vital component of every racing driver. But you know yourself, you've accomplished something great today, Tobias. Well done.
Yeah, that was by far the most fun I had. Not because of the track or something, but it was just like from a competitive standpoint, it was a bit harder than usual, let's say. First race, I was not really gaining any distance to Antonio. He kept it pretty close. But like, okay, at the end he was like 10 seconds off. I think he had some issues with the GT4s. And race 1, it was basically the other way around. I was just not really good in overtaking. Sometimes I was just leaving the track to avoid some cars. I don't know if it was on the stream, but I had like 1 or 2 situations where I was just on the grass, which didn't help.
We saw that at least one instance when you went to wide in turn 1, so must have been avoiding one of the GT4s suddenly.
No, that was another mistake. That was just too late on the brakes. I was just not paying too much attention there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but good that we had the Mazda race here. Like the same This is like the prime overtaking spot. It worked the same on the Mazda. I think in the Mazda I managed to pull this off like 3 times in a row when we had reverse grid. Just step a bit earlier on the brakes, Like usually the car that tries to brake as late as possible just carries way more speed. Just go a bit earlier on the brakes, turn it in, like go the inside line, so that you can actually position yourself for the next corner on the inside, and then you are basically just having the shorter route, and then you in mid corner where the other car is still trying to slow down, you can, because you braked so early, you can just step on the throttle, position yourself next to him, and basically, it's called a block pass. Basically, you are in front of the other car, and he can't really do anything about it. It worked quite well.
All right. So, is there anything else you'd like to say to the guys at home?
Yeah, we need more GT1 drivers. Well, the championship is now over, but yeah, it was a bit sad that we were only. Well, we started with 5. We lost Sotiris, and then in race 2 we lost Kubovic as well. That's a bit sad that we were only 3, but well, maybe next championship will be better. Yeah, that's all I have to say. My family is not watching.
Yeah, fair enough. So anyway, see you in the Praga race then.
Yeah, all right.
All right, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And I take it that Timo isn't going to be saying anything this evening, but in case you are, I'll give you an opportunity. Yeah, he isn't going to say anything. Like, I totally understand his frustration against Machado. I'm, like, honestly, I'm disgusted with what Machado did. Like, I'll see it myself that he gets banned from the community. Like, I'm absolutely disgusted with that, but... Anyway, that's my opinion. Everyone else has to run through everyone else, but I'm sure there's more than one person that feels the same way as I do. But anyway, that was a somewhat controversial end to an amazing championship. I'd love to have something like it very soon, and it was an honor to commentate for it. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next championship. And or Praga series today, I don't know. If you stay up too late.